I have my phone all set up before I start so you don't see the edges of the curtain. And I am the man behind the curtain. Hi, Lasati. Hi, Anna. Oh, awesome. Okay, wait. I need a piece of paper to keep. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Monday night mini medicine card readings. Say so. I apologize. I am just kind of getting up to speed. I just got back from the river. I went down to the river to do my sacred pipe ceremony, and I lingered a little bit longer than I expected. So, and just getting into it. So, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to be doing some medicine card reading. So if you're new here, the way this works is the first 5 people. I got 5 people in my family, and there's not one of them I'd swat. Sorry, Sesame Street flashback. Um, the first 5 people to say yes in the comments will get a 1 card medicine card reading, and then when we're done with those first 5 readings, I take those 5 cards and I put them together into one spread. Actually, the spread that I would use if you were to come to me for a one-on-one, and we see how your individual medicine weaves into the medicine of everybody else, the community. So we'll do a community reading at the end. I'm going to do that so that you can't see the edge of my curtain. Um, So if you would like a 1 card reading, you say yes in the comments. Um, and yeah, the first thing I am going to do is to drum and to set ourselves into sacred space. Oh, my drumsticks all wet from being at the river. Um, so what I am going to do is I'm going to drum, going to set us in sacred space, call in the elements and the spirits to come hold this higher vibrational container around us so that we know that we're protected and watched over, so we can let down our own guard, let down our armor, open our hearts to actually catch the blessings that spirit has for us. So, and if you're just coming in, I just know it's a big surge in the numbers. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman. We're going to do mini medicine card readings. So if you would like a 1 card medicine card reading, all you need to do is say yes in the comments. And if you are not one of those, or if you don't want to like choose just want to be in the spotlight, um, well, thank you, Lasati. Do you want a card, Lasati? You haven't said yes or anything, so I'm just gonna. It's good to see you again too. I really enjoy seeing you pop up. If you are not one of the first 5, that is okay. All you need to do, cool, awesome, is choose a number between 1 and 5 and pay attention to that card, because even though it may technically be aimed at someone else, spirit just has this amazing miraculous way of interweaving messages, and even though it may not be your card, I promise there will be something in that message for you. So, and then at the end, when we've done all the 5, man, my phone is acting weird, it just popped me out. So I hope you guys are all there still. Um, Once we're done with the first 5, we will do a 5 card spread for the community. And that's what we do tonight. So I'm going to drum and call in sacred space that we spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the mid world, the fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us here in your light. Only love gets in. Only love is invited. Oh, I I just took a 3-day class with Lisa Williams, who is a well-known international psychic medium. Over the weekend, I took a class with her and realized that not only does the drumming work on the spiritual level of setting sacred space and calling in the spirits, but it also helps us in the physical sense to kind of regulate our our nervous system. So bonus. Anyway, so again, if you're just coming in, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to do some medicine card readings with the totem animals. If you would like a one card reading, all you need to do is say yes in the comments. And the first 5 people to say yes get a reading. And then if you're not one of those 5, you can just choose a number between 1 and 5 and listen to that card, and your message will be interwoven. And at the end, I'll do a 5 card spread utilizing all 5 cards from these 1 card readings into a spread for the community. So kind of cover all bases. And so if you haven't already, please follow my YouTube channel, like my videos, all that good stuff. That helps me out. It helps others to find me. And one thing I wanted to mention before I go on, because I have a tendency to do um, South Valley, no thank you. Okay, you don't need one. I don't, no obligation, right? Um, One of the things I wanted to mention, because I tend to do the plugs and announcements at the end of the video when a lot of people have already left. But starting this Thursday, the 19th, I'm actually going to be doing starting a year-long course in shamanism. It's a monthly course, 3 hours a month, where we meet online on Zoom and we explore a different aspect of shamanism each month. And so that starts this coming Thursday. You can get all the information on my website at perchingwolfstudios.net. If you look under upcoming events and classes, it's the first thing there. And you can actually sign up for a year or for 6 months. If 6 months is more your speed, that is cool. I made that allowance for those who may want to just get their feet wet or whatever, but it's an awesome class. This is the class when I took my first couple of shamanic journey classes, when I learned how to do the shamanic journey, we got done and our teacher like, are there any other questions? Do you have any questions? And I was like, well, where do we go from here? And she was like, well, you just do stuff. And so this is the class that I wish I had had when I first learned how to do shamanic journey. This is a class where we will explore all the various places that you can journey to, all the different guides you can connect to, get to meet more of your guides than just a couple of them, um, connect with your ancestors, get insights into, world events or the natural world, talk to the fairies, whatever. Many, many, many things. So um, it's an awesome class. I've been teaching it for like 10 years now. And I personally have been on the shamanic path for almost 20 years. So I have a lot to bring, a lot to give. And I enjoy it so much. I get the best seats in the house. It's like every class that I teach, it's like the students start off a little bit further along than the previous class. It's just such an awesome, awesome place. I get to sit and watch people just soar and find their power. So that interests you, check my website, bridginglowstudios.net, or you can connect with me if you have questions about it. You can connect with me through my website. And with that all said, let's get on to the readings. All right. So card number one is for Anna. Haha. All right. I need to keep track of which cards come up so I can do the community reading at the end. So card number one for Anna is the fox. No one outfoxes the fox. Um, Fox is the master of illusion. Fox is kind of the ninja of the animal kingdom, right? Um, there's that old saying about crazy like a fox, right? It's like that's so crazy it just might work. Um, and so with fox medicine, it's all about thinking not just outside the box, but like realizing there is no box. It's about um, it's similar to possum medicine, right? Possum's the actor of the animal kingdom, and that's fox sees very shamanic. Fox basically walks with a foot in both worlds, right? And very walks very lightly in the physical world. It's almost like the majority of fox medicine, fox's awareness is in the other world, and so he sees the illusionary properties of the known world, and so he is able to produce illusions. Um, he's able to lay false tracks. He's able to misdirect and mislead hunters, which is why fox hunts have been so popular for so many hundreds of years, if not thousands of years, because they're crafty and they're crazy and you can't, they're unpredictable. And so it's more of a challenge to catch them. And so this is about um, utilizing that fox medicine, using that um, well, it's like not being afraid of looking crazy, right? And if you're watching this video, chances are people already think you're crazy. Okay. So take that in stride and see how far you can push it. Um, because there's crazy of like um not having, how do I put that? There's the crazy in not having a solid foothold in the physical world, in the technically real world. Hello, faceless poet. Um, but there's a crazy where it's like hardly touching reality and being at, not knowing the difference between the seen and the unseen world, so that you get caught in hallucinations and mistake certain things for real that aren't real, and other things that aren't that mistake things aren't real that actually are real, right? So it's about being crazy from the point of seeing the whole picture, seeing the illusion of the world, seeing how everything in this world is energy. It may be of a lower vibration, which is, what makes things solid, right? We can knock on the door, we can knock on things because our physical vibration is at that same resonance with the physical world. But you are not just that lower vibration, right? You are a spectrum. You still occupy that space in the physical world, but that place in the physical world is just one point on that rainbow of experience. The same time that you're physical, you're also source energy, right? And so this is about um, bringing the whole spectrum, bringing the whole rainbow into daily life, right? I keep finding myself talking about the re-enchantment of daily life, right? It's like spirit and miracles, etc., are not to be delegated just to the margins and the side quests of our lives. Every moment is a miracle. Every moment is dripping with magic. Every moment is a new point of creation, right? It's like, like the binary code. It's like the universe is constantly blinking out and blinking into existence. But because of our frequency, we don't see the offs. And so we think that, oh, there's that moment, oh, there's that moment, and there's that moment. So there's this cause and effect kind of thing. Fox doesn't operate in that system. Fox sees the Fox is well aware of the off and the on so that he can utilize illusion, bring illusion in. Um, how do I put this? It's interesting because I've never really talked about it this way before, so I'm kind of on new ground. But um, it's kind of like there was an old Twilight Zone episode where this couple kind of fell between the cracks of time, right? And um, they were in the same world that they thought they were just a moment before, but everything was stopped, and there was all of these crews that were painting buildings and building buildings, and it's like every moment had to be reconstructed. To us, it's like boom, boom, boom. It's like a regular unfolding. But Fox can kind of knit his way into those times between time to create. He knows how every moment is new. Every moment is a creation, and um, that there is no causality. There is no this first and then that. It's kind of like using an old analogy. It's like if you saw a cat, if you're looking at a wooden fence and there's a crack in the fence and you see a cat walking by. Hi Kim, welcome. Kim, I got your message and I just have not had the time to answer you back. So I will do that as soon as I can. I apologize for that. So you have this fence, wooden fence, and there is kind of a crack between the slats, and you see a cat walking by. You're going to see the head first and then the tail. And in this linear progression that you see, it seems like the head causes the tail. In reality, the head and the tail exist simultaneously. In our world, we see one thing happen and then we see that other thing happen and think, oh, that first thing must have caused that last thing. But every moment is a new beginning. Every moment is a brand new moment of creation. Things that were in the past moment are not necessarily going to follow through into the next. And there's so many like cracks in the matrix, right? where people see things that they weren't there just a minute ago, or they were there and all of a sudden they disappeared. And hi, Charles. You guys, there's still room if people coming in are wanting a one card reading, there is still room. All you need to do is say yes in the comments to let me know that you would like a reading, and we will get to you in due time. Um, so, in other words, it's like Fox is bringing that message of not awesome, Charles. Not don't get caught into the routine of things. Don't get caught just because something has never happened before, or just because say the way the markets are going or politics are going, that this one outcome is inevitable, and so you have to protect yourself accordingly because there's no way that this is going to work out. Awesome, Kim. Nope, you got it. um so again, with that idea of the spectrum, right? You are a spectrum of vibration from the lowest physical vibration all the way to source energy. And when we're down here in that lower place, the thing is we can't see from a higher place. That's why most people think this is all there is, right? Well, I have to see it to believe it. But like Wayne Dyer used to say, you'll see it when you believe it. Believing it, knowing that there is more than just what is shown, is the doorway into miracles. One of my biggest affirmations that I use all the time is everything is always working out for me. And that's all I say because I know no matter what it looks like, no matter what how dire the circumstances, no matter what the inevitability seemed to be, there is all everything is always working out for me, and it always does. I have seen more miracles in my life than I can count. um and so kind of like a while back I was talking about how miracles are an everyday thing. We just don't have the eyes or the awareness to see them, or we just kind of brush them off as coincidence or whatever. um But miracles are what happens when nature is unimpeded. And to live in a miraculous way, to live from Fox medicine, is to know that miracles are an everyday thing. Again, like Dr. Wayne Dyer said, I am a realist. I expect miracles. And so it's that training yourself, even though things look dim, even though things look grim, even if though things look like they're stacked against you, there is always a completely harmonious solution, right? Because you don't only exist in the physical realm, you exist in between the spaces. And in those spaces is where the miracles happen. And when you're open to miracles, that's the doorway that allows them in, right? So be open to miracles, be open to unexplained circumstances, be open to um, things like things that are impossible. Like I have had more than one time that I've lost my keys, or I lost a crystal or something like that, and um, like God, where the heck did I put that? Where did it go? I set it on the table on my side table when I went to bed, and it wasn't there in the morning. And I'm looking all over every place. I come back and it's sitting on the table. Or the keys. I lost my keys one time and I couldn't go anywhere. And I went down to my car, see if I somehow left them in the car, came back up, went back down, was looking all over my apartment. And finally, I'm like, I don't know. Show me where they are, right? And if the fairies have that, please return them. I need them. I came back inside and I looked down on the floor and they were right there, like the first place that I looked. And it's like their keys. I'm not gonna miss them. I'm not gonna look past them. There, if they were there, I would have seen them. So it's like those little kind of glitches in the matrix, the holographic universe. Um, so it's like expect miracles. Know that. I guess it's a Wayne Dyer kind of night because he also said that um, nobody knows enough to be a pessimist. There are so many variables that we don't know about, right? And you think about the GPS, the cosmic GPS that the universe is, the great hologram, etc., right? The universe can see so many different avenues of potential and possibility that we can't in our limited monkey minds. And so just to be open to it, I just got a ring in my ear. Um, and it's like to trust that it's going to work out and just be open to miracles, open to things happening, even if they're, and especially if they're unexplainable, right? I just did a new comic. I just posted on my comic blog the other day that this is just an everyday part of my life. I forget that don't other people's lives aren't like mine. I'm like, well, doesn't this just happen for everyone? Right. And I go to this Thursday morning art club in downtown Renton. And on my way back, Grandfather Eagle was sitting in the tree above where I go to the river to do my pipe ceremonies. And I was on my way someplace else. I'm like, oh, I can't stop now, but thank you. I will come back and I will do ceremony today with you. And so I went and did my errands and I came back. And when I came back, he wasn't there anymore. And so as I'm walking down to my spot, I'm like, Grandfather Eagle, come smoke with me. I know you couldn't wait around, but just know that I'm holding space for you and come back and smoke with me if you can. And so I'm starting my ceremony, not thinking anything of it, and I lift my pipe and to blow smoke blessings to Father Sky, and there comes not only Grandfather Eagle, but Grandmother Eagle came with them, and they're singing back and forth, and they perch in the tree directly across and above the place where I do my ceremonies. That's a normal synchronicity thing for me. That is the normal way that my life unfolds. I actually look for the thing. I navigate via the synchronicities that happen. Other people are like, oh my God, I just thought of my mom and she just called me. That is freaky, right? And they get freaked out by those synchronicities. But that is the way life works. And so it's like changing that perspective to um, be open to the things that don't make sense, right? So be crazy. Um, if you ever go to my website, the welcome page on my website, I have a drawing I made. It's from a comic that I drew, and it's basically me in my buckskin fringe jacket and coonskin cap leaping off of this cliff, and is there's a quote from Epictetus about how if you're going to succeed, you have to be content with looking stupid or foolish. Don't let the world talk you out of being who you are. Don't let the world talk you out of the miracles that you are due. You deserve them. And it's by living your life and and um what do I want to say? How do I say this? Living your life in a miraculous way that makes it more available for others to see, right? Um, So live your miraculous life. Okay. All right. Card number two from my friend Lasati. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light people. Oh, oh. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light people. Oh, oh. I actually have a playlist that's all Don't Stop Believing. It's like, I don't know how many hours of different versions of that song. It's like my favorite song in the world. I was just listening to it just before we started, so it's in my head. All right, Lasani, card number two. I still have spot for one more person. If someone else is out there that wants a reading. No, that's still perfect. Um, Lasati, card number two for you is Hummingbird. And Hummingbird is the embodiment of joy. It's the embodiment of, like, I see your true colors shining through. It's like not hiding anything, having no baggage, kind of the sense of innocence, not in a naive way, call me. Um, the sense of innocence, more in a Zen mind, beginner's mind way than in a naive way. Um, believing in magic. Um, I always talk about how one of the differences between me and most of the friends I've had over the years is that um, they stopped believing in the Disney movies, and I held on to that. Everything that Disney taught me was real, right? When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. Um, in fact, I can draw like a direct line back to watching Disney as a kid and being a shaman now. There's there is a dark history behind the Disney movies sometimes in that, but so here's the thing though, if a movie speaks to you, if it makes you feel more empowered, if you're like, "Yeah, I can have my dreams come true," follow that feeling. It doesn't matter what came before, it doesn't matter what other versions exist, right? It's mythology. And mythology is meant to change and evolve to serve the people who listen to it. And so if a story resonates in you and makes you feel better about yourself, makes you feel better about your place in the universe, then go with it, right? Don't listen to the dark side. I know there's all these videos, YouTube videos about the dark side of this and the dark side of that and the secrets of this person, blah 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 blah. And it's like you don't need to know all of that. Stories, mythology is one of the our greatest powers. It's one of our greatest tools to remember who we are. So keep the faith. And like hummingbird, they're so small and light. They have no baggage, right? And I know you're young, so it's kind of like don't pick up the baggage that others are going to try to hand you. Don't give up that innocence. Don't give up that belief in magic. Trust that believing in that. Like how many people as adults wish they could go back to being a kid again, right? Oh, I wish this wasn't the real world. I wish it wasn't so serious. I wish I could go back and pretend and this and that. It's like there's no reason why we can't. Um, like Oscar Wilde said, life is too important to be taken seriously. Um, and so your compass is joy. Joy is your compass. What whatever feels good to you, whatever feels empowering to you. I always talk about the shackles on and the shackles off feeling that Martha Beck talks about, right? If something makes it feel like the shackles went on, you feel smaller, disempowered, conflicted, whatever, then whatever that is not true. If something feels like the shackles came off, it makes you feel a little more freedom, a little more liberated. That is true because that is resonating with the spirit within you, the high vibe that, like I was talking about, that spectrum, right? That's the your source self up here, higher, like getting through to the lower energy, lower vibrational self to remind you of what's true, of who you truly are, right? And when you have no baggage, when you're not carrying all that heaviness of the world, um, like hummingbird, in every moment you have an infinite number of options of directions to go in, right? Hummingbird is one of the only creatures that can fly backwards. I think hummingbirds and dragonflies, they're the only ones that can fly backwards. They can hover, they can hold in place, they can fly upside down. They are unlimited, and part of that is because they have that innocence. They have nothing to hide. They're totally transparent, so they let their the ruby like necks shine, the bejeweled necks and feathers just shine, right? And that innocence um isn't a negative. It's because it's like because they're so little and pure, they can zip in and out. They can fly rings around anyone who wants to harm them because they don't have that weight of baggage of the things that the world has convinced them of, right? um it's almost like hummingbird is a little gyroscope, like um they can make almost like right turns. They can go in any direction at any time. So um focus on what feeds you. um I'm just trying to feel into that a little bit more. um and this isn't about being better than anyone else or being, look, I'm shinier than you are, or anything like that. It's about being wholly yourself, because when you are yourself in that joy, um, like attracts like. And when you're in that joyful place, you draw to yourself people who are just as joyful as you, who will support and hold you up in that reality of joy, right? Um, and that joy is actually your compass. What brings you joy is the right path. Um, like Joseph Campbell used to talk about following your bliss. So when you follow your bliss, when you follow that joy, even though there might be rough times, even though things might not necessarily like fall into place, like it's not that you're not going to encounter obstacles, but like he said, when you follow your bliss, where there were only walls, doors will open. And so it's where you focus that makes all the difference in the world. Like I just said earlier about everything is always working out for me. right? Even if there's a wall in front of me, it's like everything is always working out for me. And somehow there's a secret door or someone unlocks something or, and the way opens up before me and I go through. Um, so know that your how do I put this? Your authenticity, your integrity, the innocence, the the exuberance, the enthusiasm, that is that rainbow color, that rainbow light that comes off of you that makes other people drawn to you because they want to know what you do, what you know, right? And um by being in that joy, by being excited about what excites you, by loving what it is, whatever it is that you love, you give off that vibe. And though you may not be able to see it, that vibration ripples out everywhere and touches everyone on the planet. And that is how we heal the world. So focus on the joy. I am just I can't I have to say this like every time it's like I am so excited for you, for your future. I feel such good things coming. And I haven't even met you. I've never really talked to you other than through here, but um you are gonna change the world. I just feel that. So be the rainbow. um and that's not to say that, everything is gonna be roses and unicorns all the time, right? We all have our downer days and spiraling, but um, when this is your default setting, you tend to spend less and less time there. Like it used to be that if I was having anxiety or depression or something, like it would last for 2 or 3 days. It would take me that long to find my way out of it. Um, Maria, I'm the way this works, I have one spot left. I do one card readings for the first five people to say yes. And if you're not one of those five, I tell people to choose a number between one and five and listen to that card. And we're on number two right now. So and I have one spot left. If you want card number, it's like I got just two cards ahead. If you want card number five, you can say yes, and I will give you that card and we come see. Okay. Otherwise, choose a card, a number, probably three, four, or five. Actually, three or four, because if you don't take it, there might not be a card number five. We've had that happen before. But I hope that makes sense. And I hope you get the answers you need. Um, so believe, Lasati, believe in yourself, believe in the universe that believes in you. Oh, you're in Norway. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I wish you the best too. Um, you know what? Since you came up during this card, this is your card as well. Find your joy. Don't worry about relationships. Don't worry about who may or may not um, couple with you. Focus on your own light, your own joy, and allow the universe to sort it out. Okay? Um, be the light that you are. And if not this specific person, there will be somebody else that you broke up. I'm so sorry. That is so hard. Take the opportunity to find out who you are, to get that default feeling, to find your own light, to find your own joy. And if he is meant to be, I'm assuming it's a he, if they are meant to be with you, um, when you find your joy, that's where they'll be there. If not, there will be, if that is really your desire to have a relationship, Philip, okay. Um, Let go, take everyone, including Philip, out of the equation and focus on what brings you joy, right? Because if he comes back, your best plan is to be at your wholest and strongest. Okay. Um, yeah. And when you find your joy, it becomes kind of immaterial whether he shows up again or not, right? If you're complete in yourself, he may or may not show up. And if he does, actually, when you find your joy and he shows up, you might have to make a decision like, you know what, you're not exactly who I thought you were before. And you can't match my vibe up here. So, oh, thank you, Maria. I so appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I like your vibe too. Thank you for joining us. All right. So, Lasati, I hope that makes sense. Be the joy you want to find in the world, right? And don't let the world talk you out of it. All right. Card number 3 for Charles. All right. Charles, card number 3. Oh, you're so welcome, Maria. I That's who I am. It's what I do. So Charles, card number 3 is Wolf. Oh, um, Wolf. Give me a second. I'm kind of tuning in. Um, Wolf is an apex predator. Um, and this is about claiming claiming your sovereignty, realizing that as the apex predator of your life, that you get to say who exists in your world and who doesn't, right? And I'm not talking about, take them down like a wolf or anything like that, but just metaphorically, right? It's um kind of taking that. So, in a lot of kind of new agey kind of thought and spirituality and such, we're always taught to be nice, right? And it's actually counterproductive because it teaches us to override our own boundaries and to put up with things that we shouldn't have to put up with because it basically puts the importance of the other person as more valuable than we are. But you are the most important person in your life, right? You are the highest priority in your life. Your well-being, your growth, whatever you focus on about yourself is your priority, right? And um it's like the example that my guides keep tapping me on the shoulder and pushing in my brain is the whole thing about what happened when they reintroduced wolves into Yellowstone Park, right? Um, for the longest time, they got rid of the wolves, and so there were no real predators um, of that kind in the park, and without the predator, um, the park suffered exponentially. The herd animals overpopulated, overgrazed. Um, so they were plants weren't healthy because the herds were overgrazing, so they were having a hard time recovering. Because there were no predators, the herd animals were crossing the rivers just wherever they wanted because they didn't have to watch out. There weren't, and so the rivers suffered, lost the boundaries of the banks, and without the foliage and without the solid banks of the river to protect them, the fish life, the marine life also suffered because they didn't have the coolness to rest in that most fish need. And by reintroducing the wolves to the park, they reinstigated the balance, right? And we have this tendency to think in a duality way. Oh, prey animals are safe, they're good because they're not a threat. Predator animals are bad because they kill other things and they can kill us. And so we have this good bad ideas, but the predator actually is the maintenance person of the well-being of the entire park, right? Once wolf came in, um, they started taking out the sick and the weak and the elderly from the herds, which made the herds healthier and quicker. It actually increased the well being of the herds. And because they had to be careful of where they grazed, the herds only grazed in certain areas and they only crossed the river in certain areas. And so the rivers actually recovered their banks. The foliage came back to shelter the water so the fish had a place to live. And the entire well-being of the park is so much healthier now than it was without the wolves because and we speaking from our idea, we think of apex predator, we're thinking that pyramid of hierarchy, right? Oh, wolf's at the top and he gets to save everything. But it's not a hierarchy, it's not a pyramid. It's like the circle of life, right? He may be the apex predator, he may be up here or above everyone, but his life is intric intric in intricately interwoven with the life of everyone else, right? The better off everyone does, the better off Wolf does. It's not in his best interest to take down the healthiest bucks or, to ravage the herds into non-existence, right? It's that interrelatedness, it's that web of life. We're all interconnected. And so the wolves, by taking only what they need, they're working from their heart, right? Their heart tells them which deer to take down, and they follow that. And so it's for the highest benefit of everybody. It's the balance. And so by them doing that, it increases the well-being of the herd as well, which increases the well-being of the plants, which increases the well-being of the river, which increases the well-being of the fish, um, and all the way around. Um, so claim your sovereignty. Your heart is your authority. Oh, I just noticed I need to plug in my phone. Give me a second here. Ah, don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light, people of woe. Oh, all right. plugged in. We have energy. Ha ha ha. All right. And so trust your heart, trust the authority of your heart, trust your heart to draw boundaries, trust your heart to tell you who you will or will not let into your immediate circle, right? You are the king of the wild, right? Um, and the thing is that one of the most beautiful things about Wolf, right? Howling at the Moon. Wolf is the masculine manifestation of spirit. He gets his power from Grandmother Moon, right? The divine feminine. He's the divine masculine, the dancer, right? Lord of the Dance. That one song, the Lord of the Dance. It's like he's the divine masculine that dances through the world, but his source is Grandmother Moon, the divine feminine. And so there's this balance between masculine and feminine. It's like living from inspiration, making as above, so below, making physical what is only up to that point spiritual, if that makes sense. So be your own sovereign for the highest benefit of everyone, right? And just like I've said this before, people seem like it's like if you were to ask the deer, consult the deer mythology, right? Wolf would be the demon. Wolf is the devil. Wolf is Satan, right? Because he eats them and he's going to take them out and blah, 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 blah. But in reality, Wolf is the one that is maintaining their well being. Um, and it's for the mutual benefit. So don't be afraid to draw your boundaries. Don't be afraid to cut someone out or situations out that don't feed you. Your heart will tell you what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, right? Um, and what I was getting at with the mythology, someone else, you cut someone else off, they're not going to like it. They're going to see you as the bad guy because everyone's the hero of their own story, right? So they're going to see you as the bad guy. But if your heart tells you something is right, it is right for everybody. Your heart is what connects you to all living beings, all living things, all humanity. So if your heart says that this is right, then your heart has already done the calculation and knows what is for the best of all living beings. They may not see it, they may not have the eyes or the system to receive that is for their best, but that is not yours to take care of. You're only in charge of the presentation, not in how it's received, right? So go feral, be feral. That wild, let that wild self come out. That's what the world needs right now. All right, card number 4 for Kim. And I still have one card left if there's anyone out there that doesn't have a card that would like a one card reading. This is interesting. Every card thus far has been upright, which is way beyond. Oh, that resonated with you, Charles. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. Um, all the cards so far have come up upright, which is beyond the law of averages. There should be at least um, Well, in 4 cards, 50%, like, if you like 50%, there should be a couple cards, at least one other card that is, reversed, but they have all been upright so far. So, card number 4 for Kim is the Lynx. Again, apex predator, right? And whereas I mentioned the wolf is like the divine masculine, cats tend to be the divine feminine, right? Um, and Lynx is the keeper of secrets. Um, the fact that she came up tells me that you have been doing your shadow work, that you have been clearing out issues. Um, because to me, it's like Lynx sees everything about you. Lynx will look at you and she doesn't just see you, she sees through you. She sees all the energy, all the stuff, all the challenges, all the stuff about you without judgment. And the reason she can do that is because she's become like in shamanism, I talk all the time about being the hollow bone, right? It's like clearing our own filters and our own issues so that we can become a hollow bone for spirit to move through us into this world, right? That is what is happening. It's like um, all the issues that have been coming up lately, all the things that have made you question yourself, um, those aren't things or issues that need to be re examined and fixed. They are coming up because you have raised your vibration and those lower vibrational things cannot exist in your energy anymore. They're literally being purged out. They're coming out because they can't exist with who you are becoming. And so one of the best ways I learned this from Kyle Cease, that when those issues come up, when we start to doubt ourselves, we start like these old feelings come back from when we were kids or whatever. The best way to handle those is to talk to that younger self of yours and say, you are allowed to feel this in my body, and don't resist it. Feel it, cry it, whatever you need to do. Scream into a pillow if you need to. The point is to get those feelings out, because they're the feelings and the issues that you were not allowed to feel earlier on as your younger self. And if we try to fix them, if we try to resist them, all we're doing is stuffing them down where we're going to have to deal with them at another time. Right. So I always, in my own, when they come up for me, I'm always like, okay, let's just do this. Let's get this out of the way. Because if I don't do it now, I'm going to have to do it later. Um, but so this is kind of a card of hope for you of validating that despite the way things may have felt in the recent past, despite any doubts or anything that you're having about yourself or your value or anything, um, is actually on the way out. And it is getting to the point of helping to clear your vision so that you can see things for truly what they are. If it involves someone else, it's like you'll be able to look at them, and rather than like blaming them, well, why couldn't you have done this? Why couldn't you have done that? And you're not who I thought you were, and blah blah blah, and you were lying to me. Whatever it is, you can look at them and say, oh, they just weren't there yet. That doesn't that doesn't excuse them, right? That doesn't mean you need to run back into their arms or anything like that, but it means that you will see them for who they are without judgment. And kind of like wolf is like, nope, I I forgive you. I I see why you do what you do, and no judgment, but you do not belong in my life, kind of thing, right? So trust your heart, trust your vision, trust what you see and what you feel. Others may try to subterfuge you or throw up all kinds of curtains and smoke and mirrors. But you've been doing this work long enough that you know what's real and what's not. You can trust your heart to see through, to see to the truth of things, including the truth of your own value, to know that you deserve more than you've gotten in the past, right? And again, like with Hummingbird, when you live from that place of joy, of celebrating yourself, right? And everything you love and all the beauty in the world, um, that starts to attract a whole nother level of people and situations into your life that do fit, right? We have to purge those things out. If they're still sitting in our energy, just hanging out, right? There's no room for anything else to come in. And so it's in clearing that hollow bone, allowing those things to purge, to come out of us, that makes the space for something to come in, right? And to bring some snake medicine into it, it's like if things are falling apart, if things are coming up and purging, um, it means that there is something better already making its way in, because it's that thing that's better. It's the new skin of the snake growing, expanding, that causes the old skin of the snake to shed. It's not like, okay, I'm going to shed the skin and then my new skin's going to grow. It's simultaneous. It's interlaced. It's interactive. And as that new expanded reality comes into play, the old reality, the skin of the old reality of who you were, can no longer contain you. And it can be unsettling. It can be scary. It can be emotional. But when you can have at least the eyes to know what is going on, even if you're still feeling all the feels, even if you're still having a hard time getting out of bed in the morning or whatever, it's like on some level you can still see. It's like this is that North Star kind of shining through the clouds to say there is purpose to this, that you you are making progress. You are not just sitting on your hands. You are not just wasting time. You are actually making progress and moving forward. Okay. Um, yeah. So I hope that makes sense. And um, I've only had 4 cards so far. So unless there's someone else that would like a 1 card reading, um, we will move on. I'll just do 4 cards for the community reading. And as I'm flipping through, finding all the cards that we pulled earlier, I'm just going to mention a few things of, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, like my video, share my videos. That all does a lot for me, for my channel. It helps other people find me, and all of that kind of thing. And if you would like to, if you really got something out of this and you would like to reciprocate in a different way, or you would just like to support your friendly neighborhood shaman, right? Because this is my day job. This is what I do for a living. And so sometimes it can get a little patchy. So anything you wish to give, to donate, to support me and my work so that I have more to give you. Um, I'm so grateful for anything. Um, and if you would like a personal reading for yourself, a one-on-one, stick around. Well, actually, I'm only doing four cards. So this isn't going to be a normal reading like I normally do. But if you would like a one-on-one reading, um, oh, I am so glad that was helpful, Kim. I'm so glad. So glad. That's what I'm here for. Um, so if you would like a full reading from me or a healing, or to learn from me, you can visit my website, pertingwolfstudios.net. You can learn more about me. You can see the various shamanic services I offer, healings and readings and teachings. Oh my! You can get a one-on-one reading. You can sign up for it right there on my website. Or healing, I do shamanic healing, shamanic Reiki. I do soul retrievals, all kinds of good shamanic stuff. And teaching, um, I if you're interested in learning the shamanic path, I have a great opportunity for you starting this coming Thursday. It's a monthly course. We spend 3 hours every month exploring a different aspect of shamanism. So it's a whole year long, or if you want to just do 6 months, that is fine too. But it's called deepening the journey, and it's exploring what is possible to do when you know how to do a shamanic journey, like what guides you can work with, what spirits, what connecting to the spirits of nature, to the spirits, to your dreams, journeying into your dreams to help interpret them, journeying to your ancestors and to your descendants. It's really good. I've been teaching it for around a decade now. And every class seems to start a little bit further than the last class. So I'm really excited to see who signs up for this time. And it's on Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you're at. You can join it from any place on the planet. Um, and that too is on my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. If you look in the upcoming events and classes, it's the first one at the top of the list. And you can actually sign up, register for the class right there on my website. So if that's something that appeals to you, I would love to be your teacher. I would love to have you join me. It just it, and it's an adventure, and it is so worth taking. So um, yeah. All right. So we have our 4 cards. Let me figure out here how I'm going to do this because I've only got 4. Paper, and Lux. All right. So I'm going to rub my phone a little bit so you can see these cards. Oh, can you see that? Okay. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit. Maybe a little left. So we're going to do a 4 card reading instead of a 5. 5 cards is what I normally do when I do a one-on-one with people, but only 4 people asked for cards tonight, which is cool. Like I said earlier, it's an adventure. We never know what's going to happen, so we're going to just go with it. And the way I kind of do a 4 card reading, it's like the first card. I'm going to start here and go this way. The first card is the situation, current situation. The second card is the strength that you bring to it. The third card is the lesson or the challenge that we're facing. And the final card is the result, the end result of this process. And again, this is the community one, but if it makes sense to you personally, claim it, right? So starting with Fox, the first card, the situation as it is. And like I mentioned earlier, Fox is about the illusion of life. Of um, I just got that song in my head by Seal about what are the I can't remember the lyrics now exactly. We're gonna have to get a little bit crazy to save the world or whatever. And it's like that is exactly um, we're facing a world where the old structures don't work, the old ways of dealing with things don't work, and we're needing to change up the way we look at things. Needing to change up to look between the spaces of reality, right? To see what what is possible and to um and it'll feel like we're going crazy, right? One of the steps on the spiritual path is thinking that you're going crazy, to think that you're having a mental breakdown, right? And it's kind of like that's what's going on now. It's like there's all these hopes and dreams, and there's certain ways to get through what we're facing, but it's not the normal run of the mill way that we've done it before, right? And so we're having to entertain other ideas, other inspirations, other ways of seeing things in order to get through. Um, oh, what was I going to say? Darn it, there was something else I was going to say and it just popped out of my head. Um, so this is like the shaman with they always talk about shaman living with one foot in each world, the physical and the spiritual. And so this is having a the solid grasp of what's going on physically, but also being aware of the higher reality, right? Having your foot in the spiritual realm to know that um, our physical monkey minds are not going to be able to solve it, right? Oh, and this is what I was going to say that popped out of my head. One of my favorite quotes from Einstein is that, and again, I'm paraphrasing because I can never remember the exact words, but um, you can't solve a problem with the same energy that created it. You have to introduce a whole new level of energy. Um, and so we necessarily have to step outside of the ordinary, step outside of the mundane, step outside of what has worked before. Because honestly, what has worked before hasn't really worked before, right? It's just a facade, it's an illusion. And so ultimately, this is about us waking up to the illusion of the world, knowing that anything is possible, that we can recreate the world in whatever manner we want to. Doesn't matter what happened before, doesn't matter what the powers that be say, we are the creators of this new world, and we can do whatever we choose. We can choose either love or fear. Um, so that's our current situation. The strength that we bring to it is hummingbird. Hummingbird is about joy. And first off, that reminds me of all of the demonstrations and the rallies and everything, and how much I love that people have realized that joy is the point. That joy is what the administration is trying to take from us, trying to make us cower, trying to make us resent, trying to make us afraid, trying to make us um, stifle ourselves. But the only way to overcome that is to reintroduce joy, to live in that vibe of joy. Um, and it's that joy that just like hummingbird allows us to move in any direction at any point. We're not beholden to the past or the past patterns. It's like any moment, hummingbird can zip off in any direction, including hovering in place or moving backwards. And so we have this burgeoning fresh view of the world, this growing sense of what is real and what is not. The growing understanding of the importance of joy, the importance of everyone's needs being met. That when everyone's needs are met, then everyone can be joyful. We can all work together and we can create a better world, right? And it takes all of us. And so, despite the fear, despite the attempted stifling of ourselves, our strength is showing up in our true colors, transparent, bringing everything we have to it, dropping the luggage, dropping the baggage, and coming forth and saying, "This is who we are," right? The challenge of this is, again, like I mentioned earlier, if you think of the wolf as the divine masculine, the manifest world, the physical world, and grandmother moon as the divine feminine, the spiritual, right? This is about balancing, doing this in a sense of balance, doing this from a place of inspiration, not in a place of rebelling against it. It's about, right, there's a difference between leaders and rebels, right? Rebels tend to create the same circumstances that they were fighting because they have no vision beyond that. Their whole existence is about taking down whatever system is in front of them, but they don't have the vision of what lies on the other side. So they usually end up just becoming exactly what they're fighting. This is working the physical, walking the lines, posting things, doing, talking to people, whatever it is in the physical world, based on the inspiration that is coming from the spiritual world, the unseen world. Seeking alignment first and then acting, not just reacting to what's going on, not just trying to take down the establishment, but trying to introduce a whole new way of doing things. That's a leader. That is a teacher, right? And if you're watching this, Wolf is a teacher. Wolves always have scouts that go ahead of the pack to find out what the landscape is ahead of them, what's the best place to ford the streams, how much prey is ahead, etc., finding the best paths and the best hunting grounds, etc., and then coming back to the pack and teaching them where to go, how to go. And if you're watching this, this is you. This is claiming your own, like I was talking about, claiming your sovereignty as an apex predator and venturing, having the courage to venture forward into unknown territory for the sake of the collective, for the sake of the pack. You're a trailblazer. You're not just following the path someone else laid out. It's not paved. You are breaking ground. You are blazing trails through the underbrush and through all the obstacles that you haven't encountered before. So that is the challenge. So wait, that's the lesson of this is doing this in an aligned, in a balanced, in a way that brings the highest benefit to all beings, right? Without getting caught in rebelling and caught in vengeance and caught in that kind of thing, but having that vision of grandmother moon, that vision, that inspiration to see that there is something on the other side of it, even if we can't see what that is. We have the inspiration to do. Moon tells us what steps to take, and when we take those steps we find ourselves in the happy hunting ground or whatever, right? The result of this, or result as we see this through, is that we will come through with more empowered people, more enlightened people, people who, with much more self awareness, much more open mindedness, to be able to actually see what is actually in front of them, to see what is real versus what is not, um, to see through any of the smoke and mirrors, to trust their own vision and their own heart to tell them what is true, and to see that truth in everybody, right? To not judge, to see everything for what it is, to see all people for who they are, without judging, without saying, "Oh, this group is less than me; they're less deserving of me and my group, or whatever." This is seeing to the heart the worthiness and the divinity of all people. And the only way you do this is by finding your own divinity within your own heart. That is where we're headed. That is the world that we are creating right now by challenging the illusions, by bringing joy into it, doing things in a balanced manner so that each of us individually knows ourselves so much better that we can see what is actually going on. We can see the truth of all other people without having to be afraid of them. We can see the worthiness of every person and work together as one world, one tribe, one pack, right? So that is what I see. That is our community reading. Um, and in a rare happenstance, I'm actually ahead of the curve. I'm ahead of the schedule. Normally I leave um, 2 hours for this, and we've been doing for an hour and a half, which I am actually grateful for because, like I said, I was at the river. I rushed back in time. I was doing ceremony at the river. I've been going through some of my own stuff. And so I am grateful for the opportunity to let you guys go earlier than normal so that I can get back on track and journal and do some things I need to do to help process some of my own stuff. But again, thank you so much for joining me. Um, it means the world to me that you decide to take this time out of your busy schedule to spend with me, to watch me, listen to me, share my videos, um, and donate to me. My Venmo is in the description. Like I said, this is my living. This is what I do for a living. This is how I make my money. So help me to keep a roof over my kitty's head and food in her tummy. Um, Whatever you wish to give is met with such gratitude. I don't have words for it. Um, but like my videos, and um, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, that helps me, that helps others find me. And I am really tired. So I am going to call it. I started by setting sacred space, drumming in sacred space. And so to close the circle, I will drum again and release the spirits who so lovingly held space for us to back from whence they came. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the underworld, spirits of the lower, passionate spirits of the middle world, the fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us, your love and your light. Our work for now is done, but you are always welcome in our circles. Thank you for welcoming us into yours. Oh, all right, my friends. Thank you again so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing and sharing my videos and donating and everything else you do to support your friendly neighborhood shaman. The deepest gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you will join me again next week. I will see you then, if not before. And until I see you again, know that I love you, I see you, and I honor you. To remember, I'm really tired. Thank you again for joining. I will see you soon. Go shining. All right. Bye now.